What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Riding Dad channel video, or welcome if it's your first time. Either way, very glad to have you. I bet you guys are probably tired about the e-bike stuff. The past two videos have been it, and like I said, I promised it wouldn't be a bulk of the channel. It'll just be one or two videos here and there. I did two, so I'm going to live up to my promise. Also, two, because I just got it. There's, more stuff to be done when you just get it. But we're back to the bike. We're back to the motorcycle. We're back to the petrol-powered bike. So what we're doing today, obviously you saw the title. We're installing a new battery, specifically a lithium battery from NOCO. You guys probably, hopefully, should have seen my videos on NOCO, why I like NOCO, why I like the battery starter. I also today this lead is already installed on the bike right now. The only reason I'm replacing this is for whatever reason the lead that I got when it came, this little rubber cover did not stay on, it didn't actually lock in. So this one does. So I'm going to replace it with this one, and then I'm actually going to take the one that's on the bike and probably use it for my truck, or maybe just hang on to it for another motorcycle or something just to have, because it makes jump starting it so much easier. You just plug it in, you don't have to worry about the gator clips or anything. So before we get into it, we have to roll that intro. It's, you know what channel it is. It's the Riding Dad YouTube channel.
Riding Dad YouTube channel. It's the Riding Dad YouTube channel. It's the Riding Dad YouTube channel. It's the Riding Dad.
All right, the other cool thing about today's video is it's the first video of the Riding Dad channel where we have a motorcycle lift. That's right, I finally pulled the plug, finally bought a lift. It's gonna make things easier, especially in the future if I do bikes. Guys, I hate this because I hate doing this kind of stupid stuff, selling it and then buying it again, but I'm thinking about getting a Grom again. Actually, I kind of want a monkey instead of a Grom, and more of like an off-road adventure kind of thing. I don't know what I'm doing. If I do a Grom, I'm going to leave a lot of stuff engine-wide stock and try to make it, guys, I don't know. But anyway, if I get another bike, a lift table is going to make everything way easier. It'll make it easier to make videos because I can lift it up and you guys, the point of view will be straight instead of having to be like way up there. Everything in general will just be a lot easier. So yes, lift table, you obviously don't need a lift table for a battery. However, because of where it's at, this will allow me to sit kind of straight up instead of kind of lean. And like I said, everything was, easier for you guys to see with the film. There will be videos to come on this lift table because in its stock form, it's not very good. Actually had a little bit of an accident with it, but again, that's a different video. So let's move you guys closer. Oh, actually, how can I forget? Before we move closer to the bike and I show you guys what we do, we're gonna take the seat off. You have to get some bolts under there, and then we're gonna take the side cover off on these M8 Softails. It's on the right side cover. It's not right there like it was on the Dyna, unfortunately. You literally could take that cover off. Batteries right there. You have to do some digging. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's easy, but it is still kind of a pain in the butt. All right, so technically yes, both batteries are out of the bike, but we only removed one from the bike. You'll see that I removed this. Basically what you see what we're gonna do when we reinstall it is I'm gonna put the new one on the battery terminals and just thread it through to the left side cover, which is where the stock battery tender lead is on, I wanna say the past 7 or 8 years at least on Harleys, pretty much all of them, I think longer before, but anyway, yeah. What I am gonna do also is you see this wire loom that I had on this. The only reason I do this wire loom is because this is a red wire, which is the only negative thing I have to say about the Noco battery leads, is that it's red, which obviously doesn't go with a bike that doesn't have any red on it, so it sticks out like a sore thumb. So like I said, what I am gonna do is just put a loom on it. I'm gonna do that before it's in the bike to make it way easier to access, and that way I can do a little cleaner of a job, but so we'll do that. The oil dipstick, I don't know if you can squeeze it out keeping the oil dipstick in there. I've never kept it in there because it's easy just to take it off right there and just plug it up. And then obviously if you see that catch can that's there and you're wondering my bike doesn't have that or what is that, that's my catch can for my vented transmission top cover to help with excessive crankcase pressure. So, and don't even start with me about it's a transmission, it has nothing to do with the crankcase. If you say that, you have zero clue what you were talking about. I've had this argument with people too many times. It's frustrating. People are stupid. If you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk about it. Yeah, just ask questions. So yeah, we have the battery out. It's heavy. It's heavier than I remember, honestly. We have the Noco battery, which is way lighter because obviously I told you guys I went with a lithium battery. So right now we are going to compare some weights and some other features. It says it came with different size. Oh, I guess it's just this part. All right, well, we're going to have to, we'll figure something out. Anyway, oh, I probably could have went with the bigger battery, honestly. These are the two different sizes. I should have went with the bigger battery. I actually have two different scales. I have a food scale and a people scale to weigh them because this is so light, it's not gonna pick up on the people scale, I would almost guarantee you. And this is so heavy that it's gonna max out the food scale. So we'll go ahead and turn both of them on. The old school battery is showing at 14.2 pounds, and the new lithium battery is showing at 2.3 pounds. So you're saving 12 pounds, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. And again, I could have gone with a bigger battery, which I'm kind of, I don't know, I just chanced it with this because Noco's site doesn't tell you what it is. So I'm kind of upset I didn't go with the bigger battery because if I have the space, why not? We're gonna see if this says what the cold cranking amps are. If you don't know what cold cranking amps are, it's CCA. If you ever see CCA instead, basically that means how much power the battery has to start your motorcycle on a cold start kind of thing. So obviously the more cold cranking amps you have, the better. Some starters, if you have like an upgraded starter, for whatever reason, it's going to require more cold cranking amps anyway. So I'm trying to find it somewhere on here. I'm trying to find the old one. The old cold cranking amps are 315. Let's see if I can find it on this new lithium battery. All right, so it only has limited information on the battery, like it has the amperage and storage, operating temps, charging temps, output, stuff like that. But it has a little QR code on the top, so I scan that. It just takes you to the website to show you more stuff. It is currently $100. It's actually on sale right now from $125 normally. It's oh no, those are on the cold cranking amps. It says 400 amps of starting power, but it doesn't. Let me see what the data sheet says. I don't know if that's their terminology for cold cranking amps. So let me try to look at this data sheet real quick. It says starting current. It doesn't say cold cranking amps, so I don't know if that's just their terminology. I'm gonna assume that starting current means cold cranking amps, which means we're getting a jump of, what was it, 75 cranking? Oh, 85. we're getting a jump of 85 cold cranking amps essentially with this battery. So the issue that we might have is obviously the size difference. So what you can do is put, you know, like kind of blocks in there, either foam paddings. I know a lot of batteries, when you buy them from Revzilla and stuff, they come with stuff. Like I said, I probably should have went with the bigger one. I didn't feel like measuring, and I knew the cold cranking amps were gonna be more than sufficient for it. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and see how she fits in there. First, obviously, these terminals, the cool thing about the NOCO batteries, these terminals are, you could do a million things with them. So this is the actual, the bolt to keep your terminals mounted to the battery, but then you have the option of mounting them on the top, mounting them on this side, mounting them on this side, or taking this little triangle piece pyramid off and mounting it straight down there, and this whole gold piece will not be there anymore. So you have a lot of different options. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what the best is for me, and then you guys will see me put it back on the bike. All right, guys, so hopefully you can hear me okay. My wife decided to do a load of laundry while I was in here, and the washer's going. But anyway, it's actually been about 4 hours in my time since the last time in your digital world time that you saw me literally just record a clip. Takes a big man to admit when he was wrong, and I was wrong. I screwed up. I made an accident. So like I told you about that NOCO battery, I based it off of cold cranking amps because I was too lazy to go ahead and measure the battery that I had. I knew obviously it was going to be smaller, and you can always, you know, like I showed you guys, I had those PVC parts that I just, they were just real lightweight, and I cut them to basically block in. The problem, and this, I'm sure this will work, the problem is that the terminals are reversed, and I did not realize that until I went to go ahead and put it in. I did not realize that in pictures. NOCO makes batteries that are bigger. Actually, they have one that's got 600 something cold cranking amps. I did double checked it before making this video. 660 cold cranking amps, which is double, a little bit more than double what the stock battery has. Obviously it's a lithium, so it's better in every way anyway. And it's got the correct terminals, and it's the exact same size as the stock battery. So I'm not sure if 660 cranking amps is gonna overload the starter in some way. I haven't looked that much into it, but they do make a battery that is pretty much exactly the same size. So now the issue is that, you know, if this was a normal day in a normal video and I didn't have plans or anything like that, I would just order another battery, maybe not NOCO, but maybe something, you know, I would even order it through Harley if I really had to, whatever, to get the exact fitment that I needed. The problem is that today is Sunday, and I am dropping my bike off at my tuner on Monday. Tuner for other stuff that you guys will see in future videos, that I did some other modifications to it, engine-wise kind of thing, and then you guys will see those videos, and then the new video with the new numbers and stuff. So I could just put the old battery back in. However, my old battery is so bad, I've been riding it and using my jump starter every time I've been riding it for probably the last 5 or 6 rides. It does not hold a charge. I even put it on the charger, like the trickle charge, and it just does not hold a charge long enough for me to actually, like, it just doesn't hold it. So the battery's shot. It's been 2 years. That's about average for a typical Florida weather battery, especially these smaller batteries. They get a lot of wear and tear and stuff, and I have not always kept up with charging it as much as I should have. I trickle charged it a little bit here and there, but there were weeks that went by where I did not. So that's the problem. I've called about 8 or 9 different stores. I even called Harley. I was willing to overpay for the Harley brand lithium battery. I was willing to overpay. Nobody stocks lithium. Nobody stocks lithium at all. I guess the chain of supply is just real bad right now. I talked to Batteries Plus because that was my last hope when they opened. So this video is now not about upgrading to a lithium battery, but it's about just replacing the battery, I guess, at all, which will reflect in the title, and everything will make sense up to right now. So I went ahead and went with I was debating on getting a cheap battery and just ordering a lithium, but the cheapest one was still over $100, and it's stupid for me to do that, I guess, at this point. and waste more money because now I have a small lithium Noco that I can't do anything with either. So I just went ahead and bought the best one that Batteries Plus had, which happened to be this Duracell. I put a Duracell Ultra in my Camry a while back when I had it, and I was very happy with it. The only negative I can think about this is that it has 5 less cold cranking amps. However, if the battery in general is good and it's better, I believe it holds a little bit more, but it's the same exact size, so it's just gonna be a real straightforward fit. It'll be the same with any battery you get. So yeah, it's disappointing because I was really excited for the lithium battery. It just sucks when stuff like this happens, especially mid-bill, and I couldn't even, if this was any other week, I could have just ordered a battery real quick. I mean, I could have ordered a battery from Amazon and it would have been here in 2 days, the Noco one specifically. It was a little bit more money than this, but it was lithium, so. All right, I guess I'm done explaining why I'm an idiot, and let's go ahead and just put the battery back in. All right, battery is in. It's when you're doing just a regular battery, it's a super easy swap. You just old battery out, new battery, and super easy. And then obviously if you are planning on doing any sort of different lead like the Noco lead or anything that I put in for like a battery tender or a jump start, new battery is the best time to do it. So yeah, disappointing for sure. And for those of you who are like, well, if it's a smaller battery, why can't you just, the way the Harley area is set up, the battery box and everything, the positive is covered, which it should obviously like completely cover and you can't get to it, and then the negative is the one you put on last with the lead kind of exposed and stuff. Obviously if it was reversed, the negative would be the one that was on all the time and the positive would be the one you take off, which is obviously no good. So yeah, battery's back in. I just have to put the seat on and clean up and stuff like that and tuck away the wires, but that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully this helped somebody. Hopefully my idiocracy helped somebody double check something before they buy it or order it too. I don't know. It's so disappointing when stuff like that happens for me. It sucks. But you know what? I filmed 2 other videos that went according to plan yesterday, so I guess it's just my luck. At least 1 out of 3 has to have some sort of difficulty with it. So please go check out all the links in the description. I have a affiliate link for Tucker Speed, a coupon code where you can buy lots of stuff from them and get a discount. And then obviously it helps me out as well. It helps them out because you're buying from them and they're good guys over there. But make sure you check out all the build series playlists as well. There's a whole build series devoted to this, and check back in for the future builds that you will see later, but I filmed before as far as like going back for a tune and stuff like that, because those are pretty exciting. And check back in to see what my numbers are. If you are a subscriber, which you should be, make sure your post notifications are turned on. That way you never miss one of those videos that come out and you can see exactly when I post and stuff, which is every week at least once. So thank you guys for watching very much. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it helped somebody. It was a little piece of dust. Yeah, please give this video a thumbs up as well. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I appreciate it very much. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Ride safe, have fun. Dad out.